My full name is Sheshanand Kandula, so it's a long name, so you can call me Shesh.
What is application security? Why it's different? What skills you need? And if you're building your team, what kind of a skill set? And what does application security engineer?
Shesha. So my full name is Sheshanand Kandula, so it's a long name, so you can call me Shesh.
Good to have someone from the product side of it. Don't follow the same path for the last.
Yeah, application security is like mostly like if you see any organization. So if they want to build any business, like whether it's a banking or e-commerce or anything, so obviously they have to reach out to the like they have to reach the customer. Comes to the application, whether it's a web application, mobile application.
Point. Yeah, I like that point. So basically, your databases are behind the firewall. But your application is
directly,
basically your application is basically your landing page.
It's front face of entire your organization. So one vulnerability or like one critical issue is enough to
to expose that, right?
Yeah.
So vulnerabilities are always there when it comes to securing the application, right? So what can be done at the base level or the basic level?
We can protect the application. So suppose, this is very deep inside the application that hackers may not look into that. So that's not the case, because if your application is vulnerable and if it is deep somewhere in the corner also, if someone find it out, that's it. So if your application has SQL injection, suppose, like or else any voice command injections,
pen test is enough, or SAST scanning is enough, or like, tell us, let's talk about more. So how do can improve the security of the application?
It's not like usually like security, what we have to look into in a way, like not at the compliance, or like we don't want to do it like yearly once pen test just for the sake of doing for some getting some compliance certificates, whether it's a security engineer or a pen tester, whoever, get back from them how you are implementing it, how you are implementing into your entire ecosystem. Things are keep on changing. If you see like there are a lot of SaaS products are coming up, so you have to integrate, because if you are not integrating, third-party products are coming.
And subnetting, network, and all that, or they can just learn identity access management for this multiple cloud environment, learn the key management, secrets, and all that. So here is one more new episode of I Mentor Cloud, and I will need a feedback from you. And this time I have a guest here, and I'll tell you more about it. As you already saw the subject, we're going to talk about application security. But before we do that, it's one of its own kind of new podcast, because I happen to have him here in my area. But again, if you're in New Jersey, more than happy to do more. So today we're going to talk about an iMentor application security. But my name is Adnan. I'm based out of Jersey. I'm in the field of tech for so many years, and especially AI and cloud security is my niche. That's what I do, and work on large, many security programs, work for the Fortune 30 companies, have done very large projects. And the idea from this podcast to bring you of the real world, so it can help you grow in your career, whether it's certification, whether it's experience, you're new. And not only that, to the companies who can, or the professionals who are working on that. But this is all educational purpose. This is not a consulting and everything. You have to hire some companies. But what I have learned over the course of the years, work in different environments, the whole point is with the educational purpose we're going to show and share here. So again, today's topic is application security, and we will cover as much as we can do in the next 20 minutes or so, and give an idea what is application security, why it's different, what is cybersecurity, what is cloud security, what skills you need, and if you're building your team, what kind of a skill set, and what does the application security engineer does, the guy I have. So as I said, Adnan here, and I'll have introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Hi everyone, this is Shesha. So my full name is Sheshanand Kandula, so it's a long name, so you can call me Shesha.
Or Shri, or maybe Shri.
Shrishan
or Shri?
Shesha.
Shesha.
Shesha. SHA or Shesha.
So we call it Shah.
That should be fine. Or else Shesha, whatever. So currently I'm working in Adobe as like senior security engineer. I'm with Adobe like almost 3+ years, like almost 3.5. So before that, I was with MasterCard almost like 5 years. There also mostly I'm doing into the, I was working in application security only. So, but the team is like vulnerability management. So where we manage the vulnerabilities in the MasterCard. But current, at least the role slightly changes. But here in Adobe, mostly I work closely with the product related stuff, like product security.
I see.
So yeah, total I have like around 15 years of experience in cybersecurity. But
perfect.
If you see like cybersecurity is a very big one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't get a chance to work in different areas. Mostly I worked in application security and little
product
bit
side of it.
Yeah, products, a little bit into the network security.
All right. So yeah, and that's really good to have someone from the product side of it, because my experience is not from product side of it, right? But I've been into engineering and architecture and everything. And it's good to know somebody on the product side from Adobe, and we will want to find out more from the audience, right? So let's start with this specific point. Why application security is not a typical cybersecurity? Because what happens with the cybersecurity, if I go and talk, or people come to social media, they are so much caught up just with the old traditional school of scanning, do this, blah, blah. Dude, you don't need this in 2025. You're in cloud. And I always tell them there's a lot of opportunity.
Yes.
Don't follow the same path for the last 20 years.
Yes, whatever.
Whether it's your career, or whether you're strengthening the environment of your company, right? You need a different mindset.
Yes.
So this is where I want you to talk about it, because you're being the expert. Tell us what is application security and how and why it's different.
Yeah, application security is like mostly like if you see any organization, so if they want to build any business, like whether it's a banking or e-commerce or anything, so obviously they have to reach out to the like they have to reach the customers, whoever it is, like whether it's like regular people, or like whether it's, if you see like in the banking area, so they have to reach out to their customers. So obviously they need a system, or like they need application to connect with their customers. So that's kind of like application. So but how it's mainly different from the other cybersecurity field is like, it's like kind of a system, or like a machine which directly interact with the end users. Because if you see in organizations, they may have like mainframes, they have databases, they have a lot, like a lot. But at the end of the day, if you want to take your business to the user, the end user, so the application is going to be the front face of your organization. So you have to be pretty careful, like when you are dealing with what kind of applications you are hosting on the internet, how the users are connecting. Like obviously, if you see like any for any end user, like if you say like any e-commerce like application, or any banking application, obviously like 99.9% of users will be like good users, like the legitimate users. But we have to be very careful with the rest 0.001 or like 0.1%.
We need just one
guy, one guy who is that exactly accessing. Because if you see like in another cybersecurity, like where it's a forensics, or like into the database, so that's not directly exposed to the internet. But when it comes to the application, whether it's a web application, mobile application,
I like that point. So basically, your databases are behind the firewall. But your application is
directly,
basically your application is basically your landing page.
It's front face of entire your organization. So one vulnerability or like one critical issue is enough to like
to expose that, right? So vulnerabilities are always there.
Yeah.
And especially these applications are externally facing on the internet. They're so somebody's always scanning the application through bots or whatever. So how do you make sure, right?
That's important. Because if you see like, maybe if you see like decade or like two decades back, like at least like 10-15 years ago, so the entire internet is different. Nowadays, if you ask any LLM or like ChatGPT, they will tell you like how you can start writing exploit, or like how you can, if you see something, if you ask the ChatGPT, it will tell you like what are the next steps you have to do it to exploit any application. But obviously, so that's the way how the internet is changing, that's the way how the technology is moving. So obviously we have to be pretty much careful to protect our application. So
now you mentioned a good point about these or LLMs and generative AI is available. So somebody really don't have to be an expert. So when it comes to securing the application, right? So what can be done at the base level or the basic level?
The basic level is like we have to like, since like as I mentioned, right? So obviously like everything, whatever we are keeping in the internet, so obviously like we have to be pretty much careful. So the basic thing what we need to do is like we have to be that 1% or like 0.1% mindset, like how we can protect the application. So suppose, yeah, this is very deep inside the application that hackers may not look into that. So that's not the case, because if your application is vulnerable, and if it is deep somewhere in the corner also, if someone find it out, that's it. So if your application has SQL injection, suppose, like, or else any voice command injections, or like any kind of injection attacks, so obviously they can dump entire your DB. So it's 1 point is enough, no need to be entire application. So whenever you are hosting an app, whether it's a like simple app, maybe that may not be your mission critical applications, but if you are hosting the normal what you call feedback collection application, like suppose if you are collecting some feedback from your clients, but if that application is hosting along with the other application, so if it is there in that internet, like obviously they can reach out, like they can step into your network, which the firewalls and may not protect for that. So once they step into your internet, like intranet, so obviously they can traverse further and they can make motion. So
what you're saying, and maybe connected with some other multiple applications behind the scene. So again, company has to hire the expert just not to look at the application, but the overall end-to-end data flow. How this application is traversing and connecting to the backend databases, file storage, or database itself. So they should have to have a guardrail on multiple steps or defense in depth. It's not like just web application typically run web server, which is Apache or that machine, but here it goes beyond. So that's application security. So we are looking at application security more of like, are we saying pen test is enough, or SEST scanning is enough, or DEST, or like, tell us, let's talk about more. So, how do can improve the security of the application?
It's not like, usually like security, what we have to look into in a way, like not at the compliance, or like we don't want to do it like yearly once pen test just for the sake of doing for some getting some compliance certificates, like whether it's PCI or HIPAA or whatever, ISO 27001 or whatever. So we have to think in a way like we have to like set a standards or like kind of a processes, like whenever you are doing any kind of a change into your firewall rules, or like maybe into the application deployment, we have to be pretty much careful, like thinking in a way like how this can affect our application, like whether it's maybe a small change. So we have to be do kind of a complete thorough testing. Maybe like suppose we have to do kind of like shift lefting, like usually like what people will call.
From every step you need to take the security.
It's not like where it has to be like entire SDLC. Like if you see like an SDLC, software development life cycle. So we should not be doing at the end, obviously.
Because in the beginning.
We have to shift it to the
shift it like that. You just said, from the beginning of the
SDLC.
Security in the beginning of
Suppose you are adding kind of a new feature, like any kind of a feature, like suppose if you are doing any kind of changes into your OTP. So earlier you were doing mobile SMSs, but obviously there are some constraints with the doing the SMS. You are doing kind of a Microsoft Authenticator or like Google Authenticator instead of just using SMS for OTP. And you are trying to change it's kind of a big change. So we have to be involved, like get started involving with the security team, whether it's a security engineer or a pen tester, whoever, get the feedback from them, how you are implementing it, how you are implementing into your entire ecosystem. Is it doing correctly or not? Get the suggestions, try to implement much ahead in the design phases itself, instead of doing at the end. Because suppose you have implemented everything Microsoft like MFA, like multi-factor authentication, but at the end they found out like, no, this is not the way. So you have to go back and do it, build it again.
You spend
and
money,
time and everything. So I gave just like small example, but not only like maybe any example.
There's people, as just as we say, we're talking about people have to work with experts, but this is videos or vlog kind of thing is all about understanding why application security is different, because you're not dealing about network firewall and everything. But again, those concepts exist because segmentation has to be there for databases, for applications,
how your like production data, or like stage, or like your pre-production environment. There should be like proper segregation should be there. And mostly like people will think like, okay, just run the scan. If the scan gives something, we'll find it. No, it should not be like that. scans will help it, whether it's a SAS or DAST, but
so
it should be like manual intervention.
Now you give me a very good idea. A scan, let's say, give you no vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
But if you use a weak password of 4 characters.
Yeah. Obviously, like that's what in the cybersecurity or like in the security field, the weakest link in the chain is the, like, if you say like, if you have like a user is started using 1 2 3 4 5 is the password.
Yes.
So obviously that's the weakest link. Even though if you have like millions of firewall, you have spent millions of dollars for the firewalls and reverse proxies, whatever. But still, the weakest link we have to be targeting.
Right. So those people with this, so we talked about how organization can, and we covered that piece, right? So now let's talk about application security. Is all about the front end, and again, how the organization has a security program. It can be part of that. It can be different, because I think there's a shared responsibility model also, because if you go to the typical cyber security team, SOC and everything, that's the mindset people have. They are monitoring 24/7. But application security, in my opinion, is new, because you need different skill sets. You mentioned just now OTP, MFA, and so we are talking about identity and access management is one of the skill set. So again, a SOC will monitor attacks are coming, but you need new people with the skill set who are specialized with that identity skills. Whereas you say, how do you use your service account password or not, or whether you use keys, right? So those are the different skill sets. So you want to talk about something on that specific?
Yeah, the main reason is like application security. Why? How it's different is like, because it's not like how we, like, as you said, like SOC or like maybe IAM, because those are kind of like specific areas where the experts can like talk about or like maybe try to measure. But when it comes to application, it's kind of an integration of all. Like if you see, like you have to integrate with the front end, because the front end is keep on changing with the React or like Angular, or like they keep on like changing. Like earlier, like only like HTML, CSS, some JavaScripts were there, but now the things are keep on changing. If you see, like there are a lot of SaaS products are coming up, so you have to integrate, because if you are not integrating, third-party products are coming. You have to keep on integrating. If earlier days, like if you see, like in the front end, the homepage will be like very, very minimal. But now, if you see in your homepage, there will be a bunch of JavaScript files keep on downloading, or like packages. And we have to integrate with this several, like if you see like Salesforce or like any another, like
the data from many.
Many. So we need a skill set to understand this entire ecosystem. So who can understand like how these integrations are working, how different technologies are coming up, how people are started using it. Because as I mentioned, like one small weakest link in this entire chain is going to destroy the maybe keep our application into the insecure way. So that's the main reason we need specific set of mindset where people start learning on the job itself. Because as I said, like, because it's not like one set. Like we have to, like, suppose some new technology nowadays, Gen AI is coming up. We want to start with the new chatbot, which we want to provide more capabilities to it, so to provide the customer questions to answers. Like suppose if you started integrating that by using the OpenAI or some other LLMs, whether it's a Llama or whatever. So when we are integrating, how exactly we are integrating? So are we doing it in a secure way or not? So such kind of mindset we need to have as a security engineer, and you have to be on job. You have to learn the things and you have to implement that. And how exactly we are integrating it?
So let me ask you a question then. It's a very different question, right? And we cannot cover everything, but let me throw a very open question. And for an application security engineer, I know the answer, but for the audience, and I want to understand from your side, do they really need to learn Nmap and NIST kind of tool?
Nmap, NIST scan, if you see, like in last like my 3-4 years, like I have used it, but in the last 3-4 years, or maybe if you see like a couple of years, I could have used like maybe 2-3 times, not much.
So for the concept is fine.
Just to know like how it will work. So that's important.
So let me put another question. So this is, I usually give advice to the people. If you want to do a cloud security and application security, I would say you go rather learn identity and access management instead of doing a CCNA. Do you agree or not? If not, and I need reasoning behind that.
Let me repeat the question. So if someone wants to
have a career in cybersecurity, I would say no. You better focus on cloud security. This is where the new jobs are, Gen AI and everything. And when it comes to skill set, there's okay, what do they need to learn? Or somebody is an employer who wants to hire that. So do they really need to understand subnetting, network and all that? Or they can just learn identity access management for this multiple cloud environment, learn the key management, secrets and all that stuff.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, no need to know about the subnetting and all, because like obviously like it's good to have. No need to go and get the CCNA certifications and all, because I did like maybe
20 years.
Yeah, 15
mine,
years
mine
back.
Was 20 years
yeah, I did like 15 years back.
I
forgot everything after I forgot everything after 2 years because obviously that's a like very dry subject. So obviously like subnetting.
You're not practicing it.
Yeah, obviously. I hardly remember like how the public IP looks like, how the private live. That should be enough for like cloud security.
And some basic concept of
the basic concept. Yeah. If you want to dig dive for any specific kind of scenario, you have like Google or like nowadays LLMs are coming up. You can ask the question, they will try to answer it. But you have to know like the identity access management, as you said. In cloud, it's kind of like KMS or like key management or like HashiCorp Vault. So that kind of concepts you have to know better instead of like digging dive into the CCNA.
And there are so many network engineers already. So they've been building from 2000, Cisco's time. So this is what I always said, the new jobs. What are the new jobs around AI security, Gen AI? The concept is there. You need to have a, so in application security, do you need to have a developer kind of an experience or know-how?
It's always good to have the developer experience. Like it's not like because obviously because if you see in my career, I didn't get a chance to work as a hardcore developer, but always I felt like I could.
But you can speak to developer. You know how do they work. So that kind of knowledge.
That, like if you can, but I can read the code. I can write little bit of code, but I can read and understand like almost like Java, .NET, or Python, whatever language. I can read and understand what exactly going. Even Android or like iOS applications also I do regularly. So I can read and understand the code. But it's always good to have the development background. Or like, at least like maybe you can just spin up small application and try to understand like data flows from the front end to back end, middleware and database. That's good to know.
So again, that's hopefully kind of answer to people who are watching. So in application security, like first they have to understand the application architecture, front end skills, back end. So when you're talking about skill set, I also wanted to talk about every organization. Depend on the size of organization. Like your organization and my view, pretty much every kind of cloud we have. We have, you name it, we will have it. But for the startup, they will either go to Azure or AWS, depending, right?
Yeah, maybe DigitalOcean.
So I wanted to hear from your side of it. Then somebody start to learn their skill in AWS and they go to a new job, or a company, or a company might want to decide. So can these skills be easily transferable? That's from the career perspective, and also for the company's perspective. Then they change the decision from either or to a different cloud environment.
These like the basic concepts will be the same when it comes to the cloud or like maybe. So it's easily transferable. Maybe the major difference is like maybe AWS will use all like typical naming nomenclature. That's maybe slightly different. Azure may be using different, and even Google Cloud maybe. But when it compares to all these three majors, the Azure and Google Cloud has good, like easily understandable nomenclature, and AWS has like its own different nomenclature, like how they keep words. But all these three, like it's the same concept. Like maybe the naming will be different, the way how they deploy, like they may call it as blobs, but AWS call it S3 buckets. But the concept is same. Even the security controls will be the same. At least you should have the same security mindset, so which you can deploy, like you can apply for the different the cloud vendor. So it's not like it's easy to switch your mind if you get the basics right, and if you have the good understanding of the cloud environment.
So again, we're pretty much top of the hour. So once again, we wanted to hear from the feedback, but what we wanted to cover that is, again, in your organization, everything falls under to your organization-wide cybersecurity, but this is a niche where, again, as I mentioned previously in this video, you will have a SOC 24/7 monitoring. That's a typical cybersecurity skill. You need to understand the scanning tools, red teaming and blue teaming and all that. But you have an application, we were talking about exposed to the internet and how that application is connecting to your internal infrastructure. where application security are required, especially when it's cloud. And this is what we talked about, more emphasizing on identity and access management. But when it comes to data protection, then we have to look into the secrets and the key management and encryption and the whole 9 yards. I can have a one dedicated video on that topic. And then especially when you go to the cloud, you were talking about previously vulnerability management. If a company is 100% in the cloud, they give their native tools, right?
Yeah.
So that's there. And for organization, they can save a ton of money just to have those built-in capabilities available already in the cloud. And one thing also important when it comes to the cloud security or application security, I wanted to talk about, before we wrap up, maybe a topic for the next time is about security monitoring. They have a state-of-the-art monitoring tool today, right? In Azure, in AWS, and GCP.
Yeah, Wiz coming up.
Wiz. I didn't want to say it, but you just say, right? So there are a lot of, and somebody can just become a certified and expert in Wiz, and you just need, in my opinion, 2 years.
Yeah.
And you have an amazing career. Or for an organization which is large enough, they can have a multi-cloud source security posture management just using one of the tools like that. So again, if you need to know more about it, what I would appreciate, just know in the comments. As I said, there are many topics can be done, and we can go more in depth. Most of the audience, they have a security engineering background on this when I get the responses. But again, this is one of us kind of a podcast. Again, if you're in New Jersey, more than happy to come here. We can have a podcast like that. Again, otherwise we can do on Teams. Any other tips or anything you wanted to share, Shirisha, with our audience before we go offline?
Yeah, first of all, like maybe before wrapping up, yeah, thanks Arnan for inviting me. So we are lucky, like we just stay like around 10 miles, so it's easy to connect. So it's good to have on good spring day. So
Yeah,
it's really like beautiful. It's a very nice day. So thanks for giving me this opportunity to talk. Yeah, in future, like maybe if you have any questions, the viewers, you can reach out to me in LinkedIn or like, yeah, wherever we can connect on social. So yeah, thanks for taking your time to listening us. Yeah, let us know in the comments, so maybe in future we can connect and we can discuss more in application security area. Thank you.
Yeah, that's being said, this is pretty much done for today. I'll share all the networking links for the LinkedIn for both of us, and then feel free to connect, and happy to hear a feedback. If you like it, share, subscribe, and always looking for more feedback. Thank you, and stay tuned.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, here at the RSA conference with Ontario. So I'm on the other side of the border, technically.
Yes.
Not physically.
Everyone's nice here.
Yeah. So I don't want to make it political, but there's no tariff discussion. We are doing it.
Not at all.
Yeah. So we're talking about Canadian startups.
Yes.
And we have Elliot from Lorica. And
correct.
The reason it's interesting is he just talked about some of the privacy in AI.
Yes.
And that's the reason I just stopped right here and on the fly doing it. And I want to know more about Elliot. What does he do? And tell us more about your company, and then we go to the following questions.
Thank you so much. Great to be here. Great to be meeting with you. That's the whole point of coming to RSA, to meet folks like yourselves. So Lorica Cybersecurity is an 8-year-old company. We're from Toronto, Canada, and we're focused on privacy preserving AI and analytics.
Okay.
So large organizations, they have big pools of sensitive data. They want to use that data to generate an insight, whatever that insight is. And the problem that they're facing is the data can get exposed, the model can get exposed or attacked or breached. And of course, the environments that they want to compute in, especially in the cloud, are not always secure.
Right.
So they need solutions that enable them to be flexible, but basically run workloads in a private and confidential manner. And we've developed privacy enhancing technologies that allow them to do that. Now, we don't work with it's not for every single application.
Okay.
Okay. It's for specific types of applications, ones that aren't in real time, because right now there is a penalty that has to be paid in order to enable such privacy enhancing computation.
Okay.
But it's not a big penalty.
Okay.
And from our perspective, if you need to ensure that the data or the model or the insight is absolutely protected today and into a quantum future, you need a technology solution like ours to do that.
So what do you guys do different? Because if somebody goes and pull up NIST RMF, this is very high level.
Yep.
You have to do the whole 9 years to write the control, configuration, and all that.
Yes.
So I think you're addressing that. And how do you do that? This is what I'm interested in.
So we are working primarily with a technology called homomorphic encryption. This is
I heard about it.
It's an advanced form of cryptography that's encryption for data in use.
I
So
see.
currently we're encrypting data at rest.
Yes.
And we're encrypting data in transit. But when you actually use the data, when you're processing the data,
It's in memory.
when it's in memory,
I see.
it has to be decrypted. It's in plain text. It's a real attack surface.
Okay.
And so this form of advanced cryptography is actually encrypting the data while it's being used, but being able to generate an insight from that data while it's encrypted. That's the magic of this form of cryptography.
So I want to make a pause here. So help
yes.
the audience understand.
Yes.
Because data in motion you're talking about, data in the memory you're talking about. So for an AI and this kind of model needs to work, it has to be encrypted, unencrypted.
Correct.
And this is where these things can happen. Somebody can stiff in.
Correct. So right now, a lot of organizations say your data is end-to-end encrypted.
Yes, yes. Which is not.
But the problem is when your data is actually being used, when you access a file, when you are searching a database, when you're running data, any kind of stream data or any database through a machine learning model, right now that data must be decrypted. It's in plain text. It's a real vulnerability. Okay. So with our technology, data can still be breached. Someone can be on your network and take your data. But if it's encrypted using this technology, it literally cannot be decrypted. It cannot be unlocked. And not only can it not be unlocked right now, the form of cryptography that we're using is quantum safe, quantum resistant. It's based on lattice mathematics. So even in the event of a quantum future,
that's the thing.
The data can still not be unlocked. So you're future-proofing your models, you're future-proofing your data. Most importantly, you're future-proofing the insights that you're generating from those models and the data you're running through them.
So let's talk about common scenarios, right?
Yes. Yes.
Where a company might want to use a llama model.
Sure.
Open source. Let's talk about it.
Sure.
And there could be some. So in that case, how your technology is going to be applicable?
Okay, so here's where I have to pivot a little bit. The technology that we've been focused on for the past 6, 7, 8 years is primarily for machine learning models. Smaller models. So you're a bank, you're a telco, you've developed a decision tree model or whatever it is. Okay, we can encrypt that model, run encrypted data against it. Then everyone asked us starting last year, so I want to do Gen AI, I want to take advantage of Llama. Can you encrypt this model? Unfortunately, we can't.
You can.
No one can. No one has figured out how to use that form of technology to encrypt a large language model. So what we've done and what we're starting to do is use something called confidential computing. So a trusted execution engine running an entire open source AI workflow completely in this hardware, this trusted execution engine. Right now we're working with Azure confidential computing, but you can imagine AWS Nitro or any other confidential computing platform. And our Lorica AI solution is now enabling organizations to exactly that. I want to play around with Llama, but I cannot run sensitive data through there for various different reasons. I don't want to breach my data. I don't want Llama learning about my, I don't want it training. I don't want my data training their model. So this allows you to essentially create an environment where everything is completely locked down, but it's locked down using hardware, not homomorphic encryption yet. We're going to start combining, but we're not there yet. But that's our, for what you've just said, we're right now using a different tool in the privacy enhancing technology toolbox. That's how we think about it.
So that's the, so I think we covered pretty much what business problem is, problem you're addressing. And what makes you different,
privacy is a big issue. Like people come to us and, well, is it GDPR? Is it like, it doesn't matter, frankly, what regulatory regime you're trying to uphold. Just imagine what would happen if sensitive data for your customer, your partner, even your employees, if that information gets breached and it gets exposed, that's a big problem.
It's a huge, and we're going to see a lot of them.
And it's only going to get more and more.
And I give an example. I see it the way S3 bucket used to be with anonymous user back in 2016. Same thing. I mean, you give everything to the model and train, but how much of a control do you have? Even if your own deployment, but your model is being, and how do you make sure, because even
How do you know that the model's not been tampered with?
exactly, and then encryption is as good as, but if your identity access management is broken, then guess what? So there are complex
many
scenarios.
different vulnerability points.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Some of those are human errors. Some of those are technical problems.
Right.
This is very challenging
Right.
space. And our technology is not for every organization. It's not for everybody.
Right.
It's for specific use cases.
Okay.
It's for specific applications. And most importantly, it's for certain types of organizations
Right.
that
Big on
themselves
privacy.
require additional layers of privacy.
Right.
We provide those additional layers of privacy.
So okay, so basically you guys are targeting those organizations. They are very highly regulated.
Yes. So it's banks,
Right.
national security
Right.
agencies, telcos, health organizations,
Right.
critical infrastructure.
Perfect.
That's our sweet spot.
Nice. Gen AI is one of the hottest topic, as we all know. We'll see you in our next podcast.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Well done.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining with another podcast, another day. We are recording this podcast in summer of 2024 with another interesting topic, which is very known topic, but not knowing much from the industry. And that's the reason to have the guest and the conversation on the podcast to talk about those scenarios, what those things are, and especially to help people who wanted to transition and want to learn more about it. Usually I get questions from the people with the bachelor's and master's, all type of people with the degrees and somewhat of experience from IT, what they want to transition. And it depends what level you are, maybe experienced person in the field of audit, but wanted to transition in cybersecurity. These are the talks, these are the things what we're going to talk about. And today, one of the most common topic across the industry, across the cybersecurity, is all about red teaming and blue teaming. So if you don't know, that's fine. We're gonna walk you through that. We'll go into the scenarios, the use cases, what tools are there, and how important it is, whether it's on-prem environment, whether it's a cloud environment. It really doesn't matter. So again, these topics we're going to cover. We're going to talk about network security, application security, infrastructure, what tools are there. So there's a lot to cover in this session today. But that being said, I'm not going to talk about all of that stuff myself. I have a young, talented person, Aaron. Aaron was on my podcast previously a couple of months ago. Aaron Ferraro is a cybersecurity analyst. He's got a ton of SANS certifications. He's very technical, deep into the weeds. And that's why I think he's one of the good subject matter experts to talk about all these topics. So, yeah, Aaron, I mean, I can take a few, I don't know, minutes just to talk a little bit, and then we get into the actual podcast topic.
Yeah. Thanks again for having me on. I'm really excited to be here, and yeah, I love talking about this stuff. This is my bread and butter, and just a little background, I guess. Yeah, like you said, I'm a cybersecurity analyst at a bank. Before that, I was prior Air Force 4 years. I did ICS, so I was in the industrial controls shop there, and I did everything from setting up servers to risk and governance, risk compliance work, consulting with developers on our energy management software, and so wide array of experience there. And currently finishing up my degree at SANS, doing so I'm on my 8th GX certification.
Nice.
I just finished up my GX certified forensic analyst. Fantastic course. Highly recommended to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Expert level stuff run by Rob Lee. Great stuff. And so I'm ready to jump into the blue team stuff.
Yeah, and you know what you just mentioned in certification, maybe later this year, I wanted to have a 20-minute session, just go to all 8 certification, what you did, how did you do it, what did you exactly learn, what are more beneficial versus other ones. So definitely it's another good, interesting topic we want to touch base on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we could do definitely another podcast on that.
Right. So, we have a number of topics